UCLA Bruins. Let's talk about them. Last year, going 9-4, they had a pretty good season. Last year was kind of like the culmination of like, hey, this team's got a lot of talents, an experienced quarterback, Chip Kelly, and how whatever year he was in. Uh, I think it was all about, hey, let's make something out of this. And I think he did. I think he had a good year. Offensively, they were phenomenal. They're phenomenal. DTR was great. Zach Charbonnet was awesome. Uh, Defensively, they were not all that great at all. But this is a team that's maybe has a little bit better defense than they did last year. So is there reason to believe that this team could be better? CD, go.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it's almost going to be like offensively, at least. It's like they were super consistent with DTR and Zach Charbonnet in terms of down to down. But I think they're going to be a little bit more explosive, right? With Carson Steele coming in with J. Michael Sturgeons from Cal, who's been awesome. Obviously, Jake Bobo's a big loss, but you want to talk about explosive plays? Like he's not an explosive guy. He's a very consistent down to down guy. Kyle Ford from USC is there, but it's gonna be a pretty good room wide receiver wise. Carson Steele, all signs are pointing to him being really, really good. And then DJ Harden behind him. The quarterback battle, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't really care yet. They don't really need to figure it out until week 4, which I guess is pretty quick. But I think Ethan Garbers I can win with. Absolutely. Dante Moore is obviously the fun one. With the true freshman guy coming in, obviously uber talented, makes plays that Ethan Garbers can't make, but can he make them every play? And that's where the consistency comes in with Ethan Garbers being there, the past couple of years. Like you said, offensive line, lost John Gaines, lost another to the NFL, another one graduated. They took a ton of transfers coming in, right? Duke Clemens is back at center. He's a beast. Derek DiGiorgio, right? DiGiorgio at right tackle. He's back. And then even the Old Dominion guy, Kadir Kunta. Sounds like they really love him at left tackle. The problem is there's no depth. I don't know if they love their depth at offensive line, which also is what scares me from taking the over, which is why I'm just going to lean the over because I think the schedule is super favorable, right? They only get, they get Utah, at Utah, at Oregon State, and at USC. Everything else is super, super winnable, including Washington State at home, right? At Colorado at home if you're scared of them. But yeah, I don't know. What about you?
So it was going to be a game time decision when I got to here. Whether I was going to take the over or not. I'm going to take it. I think the schedule is way too favorable, and this team is too talented. I don't care who's starting at quarterback. Dante Moore, Ethan Garbers. I literally do not care who's starting at quarterback. Chip Kelly's going to figure it out. They're pretty good at receiver. Like you said, they're fine at offensive line, maybe not so deep. That could be an issue. But I don't think early on they're not going to be really tested. They're not going to really pushed around. I think Utah's that first game that they get really pushed around. So, look, 3 out of conference games. You go 3-0 there. Stanford, Colorado, Cal at home, ASU at home, right? That's 7. Give me 2 more at Arizona, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I think this is a good team, and I think offensively they might take a step down because I do think DTR was really good, but I think they're fine. I think they're fine at quarterback. I think this is a team that people kind of just forget about this team. I don't know. So I think this is probably one of the most favorable schedules in the Pac-12 for sure. And if you're going to give me UCLA with that kind of talent, 8.5, I'll take it for sure.
Yeah, they got a new defensive coordinator, from the Ravens, Dan Lin. He's a young guy. Sounds like the kids like him. It'll be interesting to see how they actually produce because they weren't great last year, especially on the back end of their defense. Kenny Churchwell's been in the nickel, I think, most of the time. He's moving to deep safety over top, which will be interesting. It sounds like he's thriving in that position, but other than that, you got Latu coming back. Latu. He's got 10.5 sacks. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for the team. I think they're going to miss DTR, though. I'm not going to lie. He really put it all together. It was fun to watch him, play super well with them. But yeah.
Yep. I just think Chip Kelly has not had a lot of good defenses in his time. And I think this might be a nice change of pace.